Last night, I was driving in the work car, and I was at I went past a eating place, and there were four people in there from a business I know in town that, as far as I can make out, are flying monkeys for the woman who did the character assassination on me. Now, they're all sitting there eating and talking, and the first thing that popped into my head was the curse of the flying monkeys. And the curse is, for me it's a curse because they've all turned against me and I haven't done anything wrong. But for them it's a curse too because they've been seduced unwillingly while trying to do good by a professional narcissist. So it's a curse all around. But the curse, a flying monkey is a person who is a good person in general, who wants to do good things. I remember saying to my daughter Grace, because I thought I was only being accused of stalking of this girl, and a few people threatened me from cars, and this local fighter actually got out and threatened me once. We spoke about it and then he went away. He was going to give me hiding, you see, so he thought. And I said to my daughter, I said to Grace, I said, even if I was walking down the street and these guys jumped out of a car and beat the heck out of me with baseball bats or something, sent me in the hospital, smashed all my teeth out, broke bones, everything, to them, they were doing something right. He said, to them, the law was unfair because this evil man was walking the streets, because of whatever they'd been told. And so, in their eyes, they were doing a righteous, good thing. In reality, they were doing a very bad thing, but not to them. So, flying monkeys are people that think they're doing good. They think they're doing well. This particular group I saw last night were highly educated, got well-respected jobs, they're well-respected people, and there's nothing bad about them that I would know. So, and this lady and her daughter told them bad things about me, and they believe them. This is the hard part about being the victim, the innocent victim, is I wanted to stop the vehicle, cross the road, walk over, walk into the shop with the table they were at eating, and say, I'm innocent, I didn't do anything wrong. But I can't, because the way the narcissist sets it up, it's so perfectly set up, anything I say goes against me. If I say I'm innocent, they just say, oh really, everyone says that. If I say the evidence is false or whatever they've concocted, they'll say, oh really, you know, we've seen it, you're guilty. If I say what you've been told is wrong and it's truth mixed with lies, they'll say, well, you know, they'll be very doubting. The reason they're very doubting is they're absolutely convinced now, before you even speak to them, that you're guilty. So try to convince them from one belief system or one belief conviction to another is nearly impossible. And this is where you get the vigilantes of the old days, where a girl decided she didn't like a guy, so she went into town and said a guy tried to rape her, and all the guys got together and they hung him on a tree. It didn't matter what he said. You know, what he said didn't count for anything. He got hung, that was it. In the witch hunt days, another version of it, there's a lot of stories in history where someone in the town, like the judge or anyone in the town, someone with a title, didn't like another person, probably more likely a poor person without a title, so they said they saw them doing something like witchcraft. The person, false kind of court case was held, and then the person was killed, hung, or I remember I went and read one horrific story of an old man, probably in his 50s, 60s, who was said to be a witch, a warlock or whatever, and he was put under stone, a very heavy stone. He was laid on the ground, and a huge heavy stone was laid across his body, but it was uniform, which means the weight pressed on him, but it was over a period of time, and he very slowly, I think it took 3 days to kill him, as his whole body was slowly crushed by this huge weight. And the whole idea was to make them pay. And so you got these very bad people making these completely innocent people suffer for nothing. You know, and John Calvin did it, the most famous one with him. He's heavily remembered for, and it's very hard on his historical record, was this guy wouldn't say that he believed in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. So he had a torch, he tied him to a stake in the public street and burnt him alive, just because you wouldn't agree with that. I mean, yeah, I don't know why. I think it just means that for cruelty, you know, and using religion as an excuse to do cruelty. The other ones with the flying monkeys. The flying monkeys are actually innocent. This is the hardest thing when you're innocent to deal with, when the flying monkeys are your enemies. Because they're actually as innocent as you are. And you can't do a thing about it. You can't approach this particular, one of these businesses. I went in a while back, a long time back, and there were these women at the counter glaring at me with such hatred. And I just stared at them and I was like, whoa. And I was thinking, I can't say anything to them. I can't defend myself. They won't listen. They're not interested. See, once the flying monkey's been convinced, they're not interested in your story. And the other thing with females too is, males, or I've discovered with a lot of this sort of stuff, is males are always guilty when it comes to females. Anything to do with sex, males are guilty, mostly. And if a female says anything's happened, everyone believes it. And it's very frustrating. Yeah, and there's really not a lot you can do about it. And so you just have to live with the punishment. The punishment is something you never did. I believe in this is completely up to God. That's why I've never mentioned publicly Mrs. B's full name, or her daughter's names. And the reason is, or Mr. B, because it's not for me to name and shame, it's for God to deal with them. And at some stage in the future, like what God tends to do when people do bad and he can't be part of the bad, he steps out of the picture. And if God steps out of the picture, they're left to whatever's left. So that's of their own design, and they're getting exactly what they deserve. And it's not a cruel thing, it's what they deserve. They cause a lot of harm and hate and pain and anguish on innocent people, including their own children. So, and they teach their own children to be like them, so it's not good. But and that particular family, one of the daughters is just like the mother, and the other daughter is very submissive. And there's a submissive one that's been fooled, and her friends are the flying monkeys, all the people that are protecting that one. And so there's lots of flying monkeys in this, and so the curse of the flying monkeys is you can't reach them, you can't talk to them, you can't defend yourself, you can't say, I didn't do wrong. And the thing that really gets me, with me in particular, is I'm trusted internationally, highly liked internationally, and even in town. There's a lot of people here that like and trust me and have faith in me. But see what the narcissist does, you'll read it on the internet, is they select people they think are dumb. Okay, and or that they can seduce, and then they throw all their fake evidence in their face, and then they point to this person, me in this case, and say guilty. They all believe it, and they're in this mindset, but they don't. And they look around and they see, oh, all these people like James on the internet. They think very highly of him, and they like what he writes. His articles are pretty good. The stuff he writes is very good on the mind and all that. Then they say, oh, but not people locally like James. Oh, James is working, in security. And all this obvious evidence. but their mind is still saying, no, guilty, guilty. And that's the hardest part. The flying monkeys are heavily seduced. It's like you've been giving them an injection and they can't get over the injection because it's constantly pumped. Maybe they keep it pumped up in themselves saying guilty, guilty, even though other evidence keeps saying innocent. And they go, no, no, guilty, guilty, guilty. And because the girl involved has been on drugs and mental health care, the mother's blamed me for it, saying she got scared or she'd been frightened. I don't know what she said. And in reality, it's because of abuse when she was a child. She was badly abused, and I think the girl is protecting her mother, so she won't tell the therapist. I'm not sure about the therapist. I think some of them might be dishonest, but she's not telling everyone the whole story. She's not telling them what her mother did to her when she was 9, and of course the mental imbalance she has now. And from 9 to 17, she led a pretty bad life, and it was all a creation of her mother and her family and the evil deeds her family did. And so the flying monkeys don't know that. They're not going to be told that. They're going to be told everything's sweet and wonderful. So as far as I can make out, when the girl went to mental health care, they created a new past for her of sorts. And the girl believes that, and the flying monkeys believe that. All the other people that knew the girl know otherwise. I know otherwise, and a lot of other people know otherwise. But it appears that's the case, although I don't know. I'm only guessing. There's some stuff I do know. I know what the parents did through counselling people locally and things like that. But I don't know what the heck's going on now. I wouldn't have a clue. All I know is these flying monkeys hate me because of the way they react when I walk into their businesses. And the hatred is incredible, especially the woman. They're doing that. She's a victim, and you're so evil. And I don't know. I don't think you can wake them up, honestly. And I do believe, if I was at a stake, depending on what Mrs. B told them, they'd light it and burn me up alive. I mean, they probably wouldn't in this day and age. And a couple of 100 years ago they would have. But the look on their face, the hatred, it's just... And when I see them, they look at me like that, I just stare and I think, what the heck were they told? And what kind of evidence was given to them? That's why I keep thinking of the doppelganger one. Someone who... Because there's at least 2 people in town who look very close to me. A lot of people mistake me for them. So, one's called Jack and the other one John, I think. And people often saying, hi Jack, hi John. And I'm just like, it's James. So, I don't know who these other people are. But they could have hired one of them for a lot of money to do these things in a darkened environment or something. And then, said it was me. And all these flying monkeys are just completely convinced. So yeah, that's the curse of the flying monkeys. You can't protect yourself, and you can't make yourself innocent in eyes that have already been 100% convicted that you're guilty, and also they don't want to admit they've been sucked in. That's the hardest part for them. Like, all the evidence keeps coming at them saying, bombarding your head saying, innocent, you're wrong. And they're like, no, I'm right. This person needs protecting, or this guy's evil, I'm right, he's wrong, he's guilty, and their pride and all that sort of, and the pride to believe that someone fooled them so easily. So they got all those things, the walls that have to come down, and I don't think they will, not on these particular females. It's, as far as I know, it's only females. Might be guys. So guys have threatened me from cars a few times. No one's ever gotten out and come over, except for Andrew. He was the one, and he just we talked for a while, and then he went away. And he was convinced that the girl who sicked him onto me was wrong. So that was all right. But yeah. So that's the curse of the flying monkeys anyway. The people that are used and abused by the narcissist to attack innocent people, and they have no idea they're attacking an innocent person. They think the person's guilty and they dislike and hate the person and would like to see that person harmed. And that's the curse, because once they find out they were wrong, if they ever do, and I bet you a lot of them never do, then the guilt will be pretty bad. And the narcissist always gets away. Like Mrs. B, she's moved and she's going to go away, and but she'll be dealt with in a different way in the rest of her life or after her life. So yeah, but that's the curse of the flying monkeys anyway. God bless you. Have a good day. Bye.